तो यार आज ना एक स्टोरी सुनाता हूँ तेरे को मैं। माइंड वॉबलिंग स्टोरी है भाई। तू सोच, इमेजिन कर, तू 1824 का आदमी है।
1824
ठीक है। तुझे म्यूजिक का शौक है, तू जाता है ऑर्केस्ट्रा में एंजॉय करने, और तू देखता है कि एक सर्टेन म्यूजिशियन है, वो जो है वो मेन है ऑर्केस्ट्रा का, उसको तू देखने आया है। तुम लोग खड़े होके क्लैप कर रहे हो और तुम देख रहे हो कि वो बजाए जा रहा है म्यूजिक, सिर्फ बजाए जा रहा है। फिर उसके शोल्डर में कोई टैप करके देखता है, वो उधर देखता है कि हाँ परफॉर्मेंस एंड हो गई। तो तेरे को क्या लगेगा कि वो म्यूजिशियन क्या हुआ होगा उसके साथ?
क्या?
यार जब मैंने पढ़ी ना वो स्टोरी, मेरा दिमाग फट गया। और फटेगा, ऑफ कोर्स, ही इज अ लेजेंड आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, ही इज अ लेजेंड। मैं बीथोवन की बात कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है। सबसे खतरनाक बात उसकी ये थी कि वो एक ऑर्केस्ट्रा था, वो सोलो परफॉर्मेंस नहीं है। उसमें तुझे वेट करना है, दूसरे म्यूजिशियंस के साथ गाने बज रहे हैं, उसके बाद तू वो गाने बजा रहा है और तुझे पता है तू डेफ है,
और तू टाइमिंग सेट करके रखा हुआ है,
और तूने तेरी वो 9th सिम्फनी है,
और वो अच्छा शो है,
वो बहुत भयानक शो है,
और वो सुन नहीं सकता
है। उसने मेमोराइज कर रखा है कि हाँ इस टाइम पे मैं ये कीज बजाऊंगा।
नहीं वो ठीक है, पर बाकी जो ऑर्केस्ट्रा में लोग हैं वो थोड़ा फंबल कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि लाइव शोज में तो आपको कम्युनिकेट करना पड़ता है दूसरे से। मे बी आपका कोई और मेंबर हल्का सा ऑफ है तो आप उसके हिसाब से,
हाँ
तो केवल रट्टे की बात भी नहीं है। मे बी वाइब्रेशन से ही उसने म्यूजिक पकड़ लिया, उसके कान बंद थे, कान से नहीं सुनाई देता, तो उसने अपनी बॉडी से वो चीज़ फील कर दी, वाइब्रेशन, और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली फक मैन।
तू ये सोच, कोई भी इंस्ट्रूमेंट तू प्ले कर रहा है, कैसे करेगा तेरे को पता है, ये कॉर्ड्स हैं। पियानो में तो मेरे को लगता है कि बहुत ज़्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी है। उस बेसिस पे तू एक सिम्फनी दे रहा है वर्ल्ड को, 9th सिम्फनी अपनी, और स्टेज में दे रहा है, और तू बस बजाए जा रहा है। ऑर्केस्ट्रा ख़त्म हो गया है, तू बजाए जा रहा है, वहाँ पे लोग क्लैप कर रहे हैं तेरे लिए, और तेरे शोल्डर में आगे कोई ऐसा टैप करता है, परफॉर्मेंस एंड हो चुकी है।
तो इतने फ्लो में है,
और कोई फ्लॉ नहीं है उसमें, जो परफॉर्मेंस में उसमें कोई फ्लॉ नहीं है।
तो बताना पड़ रहा है कि भाई
रुक जा भाई प्लीज। तू मसल माइंड कनेक्शन देख रहा है?
उसके माइंड और मसल में प्रीटी मच कोई डिफरेंस ही नहीं है, क्योंकि वो सोच नहीं रहा है कि मैं ये कॉर्ड बजाऊं, बस बिना सोचे हो रहा है। वो एक्चुअली बिना सोचे ही हो रहा है।
और क्या वो इंस्टिंक्ट नहीं है?
इंस्टिंक्ट ही है, वो वेल ट्रेन्ड इंस्टिंक्ट है। तो ये सोचना, जब कोई अगर फुटबॉल की, तो मेसी का एग्जांपल ले लेना मेरे भाई। मेसी सोच रहा है वो ये सब करेगा, मतलब जब वो फील्ड में है उसको पता है कि अच्छा ये चार डिफेंडर्स मेरी तरफ आएंगे और मैं ये करूँगा। इट्स गोइंग विद हिज बॉडी,
गोइंग विद द फ्लो,
इंस्टिंक्ट है, गोइंग विद द फ्लो। ही इज नॉट थिंकिंग, दैट्स व्हाई ही इज डूइंग इट सो गुड, क्योंकि he has established that kind of faith with his body कि I've done this enough, I know I can do it and I can do it 1000 times more। और सेम विद बीथोवन, वहाँ पे जब वो प्ले कर रहा है उस चीज़ को, इट्स नॉट लाइक वो सोच रहा है कि जी कॉर्ड, सी कॉर्ड, जो भी कॉर्ड्स हैं but it's kind of like वो एक communication भी नहीं है कि क्या है. Just imagine like we are recording this right now. कितना सोच रहे हैं.
सोचना पड़ रहा है.
I mean, जब एक बार मुंह खुल जाए and you are talking, तो you have an idea and you know where you want to go.
You have caught the flow.
You got the flow. You got the flow. You're not thinking too much. You're just living. या फिर you are just doing.
पर तेरे एक ह्यूमन इंस्टिंक्ट ही खत्म कर दिया. इंस्टिंक्ट भी नहीं.
इससे ज़्यादा ह्यूमन चीज़ क्या है कि आप एक फ्लो में हो.
फ्लो में हो.
उससे ज़्यादा प्योर इंस्टेंट कौन सा है.
पर एज एन आर्टिस्ट, एज अ ह्यूमन you have crossed the limits यार. You have achieved something. मैंने सर्च किया, मेरे को और कोई मिला नहीं. पता नहीं मेरी सर्च ढंग से नहीं किया हो या नहीं, पर 1824 में
no Spotify, no YouTube, just ruthless discipline, maybe forced by his father.
हो सकता है.
जैसे मोजार्ट का तो very forced by his father. But with Beethoven, I mean, even if it was or wasn't, like, their biology also had that kind of, like, ability to just do that shit. Kyunki, and this is something I find insane. Think about Beethoven, theek hai? Such great story.
Mm-hmm.
Guy did this and that. Let me tell you this one thing. Beethoven was a very dedicated collector of stools. Not stools.
अच्छा.
Human feces, not even human, maybe पता नहीं, but maybe animal feces, but he was very much into like collecting a lot of shit. उसके घर में बहुत सारे jars मिले थे जहाँ पे अलग अलग feces उसने इकट्ठी करी हुई. Beethoven के. So like when your ears don't work, maybe his olfactory did, maybe his
it is what it is.
I mean, he was just, but then he used to do that kind of shit. But still, you won't say कि he's a bad musician because he used to collect shit. I mean, that thing you cannot make. वो inference कैसे बना सकते हो कि if he was into collecting shit, literal. I mean, not like he used to collect blankets and we are calling.
I mean, he collected his shit yaar, on the stage.
And
on stage.
He collected everybody's shit while he was playing. So he did that, and this is what I find very cool about people who go all in. I mean, that guy wasn't stopping himself. He was just living, and that's why he could also play that good. Because when he was playing, he was also just living. He was not thinking, मैं ये वो. Didn't give a damn. He knew कि अच्छा मैं इतनी सारी चीज़ें करना चाहता हूँ और साथ में मैं म्यूज़िक भी है. और ऐसा नहीं है कि म्यूज़िक भी है. I mean, it's Beethoven. I mean, his shit is crazy. उसका बेस इतना crazy है. मजाक की बात नहीं है भाई. Go on Spotify, play some Beethoven shit. There is a beautiful playlist. उसका नाम ये है कि oh, you think Western classical music is boring? Question mark. Spotify में listen to that shit. उसमें सब है. उसमें विवाल्डी है, उसमें बैंचोद वो है, बिथोवन, मोजार्ट तो ऑब्वियसली होंगे ही, पर विवाल्डी है. लिसन टू विवाल्डी. सुनते ही यू आर इन अ स्प्रिंग टाइम. भाई तुम यूरोप के स्प्रिंग टाइम में, मैं आज तक यूरोप नहीं गया, पर मैं सुनता हूँ, मेरे दिमाग में यूरोप का स्प्रिंग टाइम आता है कि विवाल्डी, व्हाट द फक, समथिंग हैपेंस टू मी. दिस इज व्हाट दीस पीपल फिगर्ड आउट. 1820 क्या 1824. We're still listening to him. I mean, I am still listening to him. Like, are they not immortal through their music?
And the limitations. When you talk about limitations of a human being, जब मैंने वो स्टोरी सुनी तो मेरे को लगा भाई there is no limitation यार. Limitation is what we have put in our minds.
Yeah.
उसके मन में थोड़ी आया होगा. वो स्टेज में लगा है वहाँ पे. ओटी नहीं, वो लगा है.
अब ओटी नहीं कर रहा था, वो
पियानो कर रहा. वो उसने शो खत्म हुआ उसका, वो बजा रहा है. वो ओटी नहीं है उसकी लेगेसी है.
आई थिंक वो बहुत ओटी कर चुका है जब वो अकेले में बैठ के प्रैक्टिस करता था.
हाँ,
आई थिंक वो उसकी ओटी थी.
पर यार लिमिटेशंस देख रहा है तू.
Let me tell you this, like, even if you imagine कि even if we believe that there are actual limitations, think about limitations purpose. एक लाइन है जॉन फ्रुशांते की, जो एक और अमेजिंग गिटारिस्ट है फ्रॉम रेड हॉट चिली पेपर्स. उसकी एक गाने में लाइन है कि limitations are set, only then we can go all the way. So think about it, if there were no foundations या limitations, real unreal, there would be no incentive to go all the way. We have limitations, that's why we have the instinct to go all the way, because we want to break those limitations, be it actual, real या फिर illusory.
तेरे को क्या लगता है लिमिटेशंस कैसे आती है किसी भी चीज में? हम नॉर्मल सोसाइटी में देखते हैं कि जैसे हम अपना एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं, हाँ हमारी लाइफ चल रही है, हाँ तेरे सिचुएशंस हैं जो तेरी लाइफ में स्टैग्नेंट है, जिनको तू चेंज नहीं कर सकता है, और स्टैग्नेशन के बाद तू कुछ करने जा रहा है, तेरे मन में ख्याल आते हैं हाँ लिमिटेशंस हैं मेरी, मैं ये नहीं कर सकता, पर यार वो पढ़ के ना मेरी वो चीज खत्म हो गई यार।
वो चीज होगी खत्म, वो चीज ऑब्वियसली खत्म होगी। मतलब क्या कम स्टोरीज नहीं है सबके पास? एंड दिस कम्स बैक टू दैट सेम पॉइंट, इफ एवरीबडी ऑन दिस अर्थ स्टार्ट्स टू पे अटेंशन टू ऑल द रीजंस दे कांट डू एनीथिंग, एवरीबडीज गॉट देम, और वो लेजिटिमेट है। आई मीन एटलीस्ट दे सीम लेजिटिमेट, but then if you divert your attention to some shit that you can actually do, I think that's gonna be more worthwhile. Kyunki limitations, I mean obviously, like can't you come up with some shit in your life? Can't I come up with some shit in my life and then excuse it to be like, even if I become a failure, I mean it makes sense. I mean of course it does, those reasons are not bad, but then the thing is like you can choose bhai ki acha what do you want to pay attention to. You want to pay attention to कि you are deaf, तो हमें छोड़ देते हैं। कितना अच्छा रीजन नहीं है भाई, तू बहरा हो गया,
वो स्टेज में जा रहा है बहरा,
स्टेज में, और केवल जा नहीं रहा है।
और 1824 के वक्त में लगता है सारे नोबल्स आ रहे हैं उसे देखने।
हाँ वो बीथोवन है, उसकी पीआर है।
अगर वो स्टेज में कुछ फकअप करेगा, खैर पहली बात तो उसे नोबल्स देखने आ रहा है, बहुत बड़ी चीज है उस वक्त के बारे में, पर अगर उसने कुछ फकअप कर दिया वहां पे, तो वही एक मात्र चीज है जो उसे फैला रही है ना।
बात तो ये, वो आई थिंक इतना अच्छा म्यूजिशियन था कि उसके फकअप समझ भी नहीं आएंगे,
उसके लिए वो फकअप है, हमारे लिए वो,
ये भी तो बात है ना। उसको समझ ही नहीं आया भाई अब क्या हो गया। मेरे सामने स्लैश आके गिटार बजाया, कोई सोलो बजाया, कोई फकअप कर दे, मैं शायद सुन भी ना पाऊँ, क्योंकि वो बंदा बिना सोचे बिना कुछ करे भी बजाएगा। वो बंदे ने इतनी मसल मेमोरी ट्रेन कर दी है कि भाई वो इतना तो बजा लेगा कि यू नो। पर तुम डेफ हो तो सोच, तू क्लासिकल, वो भी तो ऐसा म्यूजिशियन नहीं है कि बेबी बेबी बेबी, ओ तू वो म्यूजिशियन नहीं है। I'll treat you better.
I want to be deaf after that, but ठीक है,
I'll treat you better. तू वो म्यूजिशियन नहीं है भाई, तू क्लासिकल म्यूजिशियन है, क्योंकि तुझे देखने केवल नोबल्स थोड़े आ रहे, तुझे देखने तो बाकी म्यूजिशियंस भी आ रहे जो तेरे एनिमीज हैं या तेरे कॉम्पिटिटर्स हैं, वो नहीं आ रहे तुझे देखने, जो तो क्रिटिसाइज करना चाहते हैं। उस टाइम पे न्यूज़पेपर्स नहीं थे, तू जॉन बोले कि बीथोवन गिर गया, कितनी अच्छी न्यूज होगी वो, वायरल न्यूज कि बीथोवन बेकार हो चुका है।
तू सोच,
और वो सुन नहीं सकता तो अच्छी बात।
वो सुन नहीं सकता, वो उसका एक पॉइंट हो गया है, पॉजिटिव पॉइंट। पर तू सोच, तू उसका हेटर है, तू स्टेज में बैठा है, तू देख रहा है कि वो बजाए जा रहा है, स्टेज खत्म हो गया, भाई पागल है क्या कर रहा है, खत्म हो गई स्टेज परफॉर्मेंस। फिर अगले दिन न्यूज आती है, उसने ऐसा क्यों करा, किसी ने कवर करा, तुझे पता चला ये तो बहरा है।
तू अभी तक सोच रहा था कि उसके कान काम करते हैं, मेरे भी,
और तू सोच रहा, हाँ तू सोच रहा है कि तेरे तो कान ठीक हैं, उसके भी कान ठीक होंगे। तू लगा है कि हाँ मैं इसको चैलेंज करूंगा, और तू चैलेंज किसको कर रहा है, वो बहरा हो चुका है, तभी भी तू उसका चैलेंज करने के बाद भी तू उसके नीचे है भाई।
गोलमाल में लकी है ना, लकी नाम है उसका।
हाँ
सोच, लकी गाना गा रहा है, वो लिरिक्स भी गा रहा और किसी को पता ही नहीं कि वो गूंगा है। म्यूजिशियन तो तुम यार, म्यूजिक तो कान की चीज, म्यूजिक तो कान की तो चीज है, म्यूजिक कान की तो चीज है।
तू किसी को सुना रहा है बजा के, और तुझे खुद नहीं पता तू क्या बजा रहा है, तू सुन नहीं पा रहा। वाइब्रेशंस ऑल दो तेरे को, मतलब तूने इतना पियानो बजाया कि तुझे पता है ये पियानो की बजा रहा है, तेरे को ये वाइब्रेशंस फील हो रही हैं।
वाइब्रेशंस, वैलेंटाइन स्पेशल ब्लैंकेट 350 रुपीस,
नो स्पॉन्सर्स।
पर तू ये सोच तू देख, आई थिंक आई हैव डन दिस कि जब गोलमाल नहीं तो गोलमाल में वो गाना था, ओ आल hey you. That's a banger. भाई अगर that shit is playing on stage, भाई हेडबैंग कौन नहीं करेगा? तो एक गूंगा भी गा सकता है भाई, अगर मतलब if you really think about it. साउंड ही तो है.
हाँ, लिमिटेशंस तू देखना, लिमिटेशंस हमने तो पुट कर दी है. बोला ये तो बहरा है, इसको क्या सुनेंगे हम. वहाँ एक बहरा ने बैंगर दे दिया.
बैंगर. और ऐसा नहीं कि ओ ये 10 साल चलेगा,
अभी तक चल रहा है,
और चलेगा.
1824 से लेकर अभी तक सुन रहे हैं लोग. मेरे पे तक आ गई है वो चीज, इतनी फैल रही है वो.
सोच बहरे ने, what the fuck यार, what the fuck. बहरा. तो सोच रहे सच में यार, अगर तुम उसके कंपटीशन हो और तुम सोचते हो कि यार ये तो नेचुरली गिफ्टेड है, ये तो क्या बोलते हैं, जो भी है, मैं अपने कान अच्छे करूंगा सो आई कैन बीट हिम एंड आई विल ट्राई टू लर्न व्हाटएवर इज हैपनिंग. फिर अगले दिन शो देखने के तुमने बोला यार क्या बढ़िया शो था यार, आई मीन आई एम अ हेटर बट स्टिल लाइक ग्रेट म्यूजिक, राइट. ठीक है, चाय है मेरी. दीदी जरा न्यूज़पेपर लाना. न्यूज़पेपर आया, न्यूज़पेपर आपने खोला, फ्रंट पेज में क्या लिखा है? वो बहरा है. फ्रंट पेज पे लिखा है कि वो बहरा है और तुम्हारे कान फट गए. तुम्हारे कान फट गए. और बात ये है कि उस आदमी ने उसके बाद भी he did some shit and he did not do simple shit. वैसे नहीं है कि it's normal shit. It's more like it's insane. Like something he did is immortal. उसने immortal चीज बना दी और एक नहीं बनाई.
तो देख ओपिनियन कैसे चेंज हुआ. क्लासिकल म्यूजिक में मैं इतना तो घुसा हुआ नहीं हूँ, सुन लेता हूँ कभी, पर मेरे लिए ये स्टोरी पढ़ने के बाद उससे ऊपर कोई नहीं है भाई.
I mean, he is music.
Technically,
Beethoven is music. I mean, Beethoven is like biggest one that is around. मतलब बात ये है कि you have done so much for music, you enhanced music itself. उसने केवल अपनी लाइफ एनहांस नहीं करी, बाकी लोगों की लाइफ एनहांस नहीं करी, but he enhanced music itself. उसने म्यूजिक ही एनहांस कर दिया. उसने इतनी पुरानी आर्ट फॉर्म जो कितने टाइम से है म्यूजिक, उसने इतनी एंशिएंट आर्ट को जिसमें इतनी सारी आत्माएं लगी हैं इंसान की, कितने नेक्स्ट लेवल म्यूजिशियंस आए, उसने उन सबको ओवरकम कर दिया भाई. तो ये सोच, thousands of generations of human beings involved in making music. Beethoven comes and क्या है, he is deaf.
तो सोच लिमिटेशंस की बात कर रहे हैं हम. लिमिटेशंस की बात ऐसे कर रहे हैं कि कोई भी इंडिविजुअल है वो लिमिट कर रहा है अपने पोटेंशियल को बाय नॉट ट्राइंग, या फिर क्योंकि उसने लिमिट लगा दी है अपने सिचुएशन पे कि हाँ या तो मैं बहरा हूँ या फिर कुछ है दिक्कत मेरे को, पर अगर वो ट्राई करे, यू कैन बी द नेक्स्ट Beethoven. You don't have to be Beethoven. You can be your own legend.
Yeah, you can be. Maybe you can be the next Beethoven, but maybe not in music. Maybe in collecting stools. Maybe, who cares? These are just parameters set up by people. I mean, isn't it crazy that people make tons of money selling their own piss in a jar?
Farts
in a jar. Their bath water and everything. But people do that, and it's a hustle of a kind.
They want to put a limit, but
it's a new genre of business. It's a new genre of business because there is a supply for everything in the world.
What I worry about is the demand.
The demand. Supply and demand, yeah. Think about the demand of things, but then also think कि you know there is this basic ass quote कि if you think you can not do it, you can't, and if you think you can, you can. I think that is what it is about limitations. कि if you believe कि yeah, me being deaf is not gonna, now my music career is over. Yes, it is. But if you believe कि even if I'm deaf, I don't care. I mean, let me find some other ways. कि मुझे तो ट्यून भी नहीं सुननी पड़ती, मुझे तो बस वो सुन के मुझे पता है क्या है ये. भाई अगर मैं अपने फ़ोन को वाइब्रेशन पे रख के रिंगटोन लगा के कोई गाना बजाऊं, मैं नहीं बता पाऊंगा ये कौन सा गाना है.
नहीं भाई,
वो कैसे पता कर रहा? वो बताता है भाई, क्यों नहीं बताएगा? वो बता देगा. और मे भी हो सकता है दुनिया इतनी बड़ी है, मे बी देयर इज समबडी हु इज इवन बेटर. हु नोस.
ये सोच वो सेंसिटिविटी उसने पाई कैसे भाई? ऐसा तो है नहीं पैदा होके आया हूँ. हो सकता है बाई चांस
पर इतना नहीं
सेंसिटिव हो, इतना नहीं होगा, उसने
आपको
ट्राई किया.
आप पैदा हो, आपको स्ट्रेच तो करना पड़ता है ना जेनेटिक पोटेंशियल. उसने इतना स्ट्रेच कर दिया कि इट वेंट बियॉन्ड साउंड्स एंड इट केम टू लाइक फिजिकल सेंसेशंस. बिकॉज व्हाट इज म्यूजिक इफ नॉट वाइब्रेशंस? आई मीन साउंड भी तो वाइब्रेशन ही है बस. एंड ही फिगर्ड आउट द मोस्ट फंडामेंटल कि इट्स फंडामेंटली वाइब्रेशन, सो ही जस्ट वेंट विद वाइब्रेशन.
वर्स्ट थिंग है कि लिमिटेशंस रोकती हैं तुम्हारे इंस्टिंक्ट को. जो इंस्टिंक्ट है तुम्हारे इनर चाइल्ड की जो इच्छा है उसको रोक रही है. और वहाँ पे वो बंदा ऐसा है, उसने अपने इनर चाइल्ड को मारा ही नहीं भाई, वो करता रहा. अब देख,
His inner child wanted to collect stools, he did. His inner child wanted to make music, he did. तो वहाँ पे फिर कुछ है नहीं वैसा.
but if you want to collect stools, can you say he's a bad artist? He's a bad artist. What do you know Beethoven of in general? Music?
And even if after you know कि he used to collect stools.
I mean, I didn't know he used to collect stool. But after that, who gave a fuck?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? But then I'll put this question out, which is very common in English literature. Can you separate the artist from the art? अब इसका मतलब ये है कि if there is जैसे बिल कॉस्बी के बारे में पता है तुझे?
नहीं.
Okay, so Bill Cosby was this super famous comedian back in the day, American comedian, and he was very successful and he's very funny, according to some people. I have not seen his stand-up, but he's very funny, critically acclaimed, or audience maybe, right? Very successful. But he used to drop drugs in women's drinks, make them drink it. After that, after when they are blacked out, या फिर they are unconscious, he used to rape them. So now the thing is, he used to do that shit. After all of that, can we believe that he is a very funny comedian and really good at his art? It's a very radical example that I gave, and for a good reason. Can we separate the artist from his art?
For me, I think it can certainly leave a stain on his legacy.
Yeah.
I mean, but we cannot call him a bad comedian because it's his art.
Yeah. Those things don't connect to each other. I remember when we were just on LinkedIn, somebody asked me a question. He asked me for some suggestions on Nietzsche. He told me that, okay, you read Nietzsche. So I said, yeah, you should read him too. And he said that, oh, I've never read Nietzsche for a good reason. And I said, why? He said, because Nietzsche is a misogynist. Mm-hmm. I said, what? First of all, believing that even if he is a misogynist, what does that have to do with his other ideas about will and humans and human spirit and everything? I think we can segregate the artist from the art. I mean, I can do that. I mean, Carl Jung. Chal, okay? Let me give you Carl Jung's example. Somebody very famous on Instagram, right? Might of Steel. Rhymes with Might of Steel. This guy on his Instagram live, he said that, oh, people quote Carl Jung a lot. But do you know that he slept with his client? I don't care that he did. His theories are fantastic, his writings are great. I can segregate the artist from the art. But it's a very common question.
I mean, what we need to differentiate here is that his art is great, but he's not a great individual, and I'm not liking him for the individual he is.
Yeah.
I mean, if the ideas bring revolution in the society, and that revolution is benefiting me anyhow, who gives a fuck what he does in his personal life? I mean, according to law, if he's not, that he will be punished.
Freud used to do cocaine, so what are you gonna do? Remove psychoanalysis and all their theories and not use it? Are you gonna do that?
I mean,
Carl Jung had sex with his client, so what are you gonna do? Like remove analytical psychology and his studies on mythology and all shadow integration thing? Are you gonna remove that? I don't think so. And this doesn't mean that you do these things which are bad. But then this also means that you can segregate the artist from the art. And the crazy part is that more people believe that you can't than those who believe that you can segregate them. I believe you can.
But that is the thing. Those people are easy to make someone an idol rather than liking the work they have done.
Exactly.
You know, and I mean, that's bullshit. If I like an idea of an individual, I like his idea, not his personal life.
And like, what do you know about their personal life? I mean, that's also a thing. Like, how are they exactly? This is like one frame you're looking at. This is one frame you're looking at. Is
Yeah.
that the whole person?
I mean,
Is
I'm
that the
not
whole person?
saying that those were false allegations, but what if they were? I don't know. I'm not supporting his
Nobody
whatever
knows.
he did.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows that.
And maybe they were true allegations.
They were true
Even if they
allegations.
were, the theory stands correct. The
Yeah.
theory is beautiful, it's very wise. We can't deny that it's wise. If I say 2 plus 2 is 4, and then you realize that, okay, yeah, this person used to collect stool. So am I not accurate to say 2 plus 2 is 4? I mean, the inference doesn't make any sense to me. क्योंकि वो तुम कैसे डिड्यूस कर सकते हो? I have no idea.
I mean, those are the same people who does this shit for status, I think.
Yeah, to seem a particular way, to be like, yeah, I am one of the herd. मैं
Yeah.
ग्रुप का पार्ट हूँ. Because I don't know how you can not do it. I just don't understand that. Like, why won't you pick something that you think is useful for you and just leave the other shit because you don't need it? Like, why won't you do that?
I mean, why do you give a fuck that whatever he's done, his life is more important than the work he has done?
Yeah. Why won't you? तो वो मुझे नहीं समझ आती है. वो मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं समझ आती है. As in, there is this like amazing thing from Nietzsche's life, like when he wrote, like what I think around 1888 he became sick, and for the last 10 years of his life he could not walk, and he used to stay home, and he had some kind of mental disease. His critics started writing that, oh, Nietzsche's philosophy is bullshit because he's mentally sick, and if he cannot if he cannot protect himself, why should we listen to him? To that Nietzsche wrote, I don't have keys to my cage, but I have keys to yours. And isn't he accurate?
100%.
You might not have keys for your own things, man. It's completely fine. But you can have keys for other people. You can. It's not impossible. How is it impossible? You just can't. So that's why I believe like it's so easy, and maybe it's just easy for me to segregate the artist from the art. Of course you can. You
can.
take what you need. Yeah, you want, and then you just leave the other things out. Just be like, who cares? Who the fuck cares?
I mean, it's like an example you become for someone that you open their cage. For me, like, if there was an individual who knows about the story of Beethoven and there are limitations to his music and he thinks that he can't achieve it, what if he gets inspired by that?
Yeah,
This automatically become the key to your cage.
automatically.
And what is stopping from him to become your key to your cage? It's just that he's collecting stool.
Think about that.
I'm unable to.
There are just so many ideas that we think are just accurate, and then there are also these nuances that you only hear in universities. जैसे कि if you go to some English literature English literature class in any university, you would find people having this famous conversation, and most of them believe that you cannot separate the artist from the art. But to me, of course you can. Of course you can segregate those two things. For example, Bukowski, right? Bukowski's personal life was not as good. He was a terrible man. He was a, cranky guy. He used to like beat his wife. He even beat his wife on camera, actually. He kicked her. And yeah, he did all that shit. But then you read Bluebird. Are you going to say Bluebird is not a great poem? I mean, go and read Bluebird. And you're going to know that he is a fantastic poet. So you can make that segregation. You take what you want. But then let's try to understand that other position right now. Ki how can you not segregate the artist from the art, right? Like, what is the psychology of this person? Now you see that if people are reading Bukowski because he used to beat his wife, and because he was such a manly man, then
I mean,
it's just,
it's a you problem.
you are there for a lifestyle, you're there to seem a particular way, you are there to satisfy your demons, you're
Yes,
not there.
Just like you're giving your demons a justification. What he
Justification. Justification for what he did.
did. I mean, that makes you a terrible person. Yeah. Makes you a terrible person.
Makes you a terrible person, because like, following Bukowski's personal life is not gonna make you a better person. Following his poetry, yes.
You take what you want to take.
You take what you want to take with consent.
With consent.
You also take what you need to take sometimes. Maybe you don't want it, but you just kind of need, you know, you need that kind of clarity. They kind of post clarity.
I mean, it's like a filter in their eyes, a filter on their lens. They put it there just to satisfy their demons, just to satisfy the socio status that they have
Status.
created,
And they feel identified with.
identified with, and that's a. I feel pity. We find pleasure in that. I feel pity for you.
Yeah, you are weak and pathetic.
You're pathetic.
You're pathetic because you're doing that. Because it's not good for you. It's gonna satisfy you temporarily, but then it's not gonna sort out the demons inside of you. You're not gonna be able to use your demons for your good. You're gonna use your demons for bad for other people and for yourself.
I mean, after the example of Beethoven, what would you like to become? Would you like to become an artist like a Beethoven, or an artist like a bad artist? Something I don't want to
I
take
wanna
any name.
treat you better.
Your eyes and my eyes.
Eye to eye.
I mean, he never collected stool. We don't know about that. But if he didn't collect a stool, does that mean you want to be What was his name, yaar? Tahir Shah. You want to be Tahir Shah or you want to be Beethoven?
Let's not name Tahir Shah.
Nahi.
Let's not name TAHIRSHAH. Let's not name Tahir Shah, please. Let's not name Angel. There's another song. Let's not edit this out either. But think about bias. Think about our own bias now, right?
Yeah, bias.
Because I think we both have a bias as well. You listen to Tahir Shah, it's horrible music, and then we automatically assume that we don't want to hang out with that guy. Maybe
Yeah.
he's a different personality. I mean,
I don't know.
maybe
Maybe
you're
like
segregating the artist from the art. You
Yeah.
also have to segregate the art from the artist.
he did that just to become
Make
rich.
money. I mean, he did. He became famous, became
But
a
like,
brand.
My example was only if you want to become an artist. I'm not talking about an individual here. Individually, we don't know. Beethoven must have been a dick. Don't know that.
Must be a terrible person. Must have been, or must have been a good person. Who knows?
Who knows? But
But
our
then if
our biasness comes or lies at the exact same point that we are talking about art, not personality.
Exactly.
And if you are talking about personality and you bring art automatically, I mean, that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
There's no connection.
It's just like, it seems almost like a forced instinct to think that way. Ki artist and art cannot be separated. Of course, it can be separated. I mean, Kurt Cobain committed suicide and he was very depressed. Like, what? You're not gonna listen to his songs because he committed suicide and he was he had a really tough personal life. So like, you're not gonna, like, what are we doing here? Are we not going to listen to any rock and roll artist because they used to do a lot of drugs? Are we not going to listen to them at all?
And you know what the worst thing about this is that people want to become the person, not their personality or the certain trait they are good in. They want to become that exact person.
Yeah, idealization.
Idealization.
Murti wala idealization.
Kind of.
Yep. Think about all these people who have made it crazy. जैसे कि like think about Eminem, right? People listen to his shit and they feel like they have to justify their anger. क्योंकि बहुत हैं ऐसे. I understand. What about his work ethic? Like, can we take his work ethic? He makes like 50 perfect songs before releasing an album and then chooses from those 50 songs. That is constantly in studio 8 hours a day, constantly working with new artists, constantly listening to new music,
And
writing such complex
age?
rhymes. 53.
53 and is still doing this.
Still doing this. He's successful. He has money. He's got
still
everything.
winning awards.
If it doesn't make even $1 from today, he's good. His families are good, but he's still doing it. Like, are we not taking that into consideration? Are we gonna say that, oh, he used the F word, or he used to talk about homosexuals and all that shit? It's just kind of, you can separate the artist from the art. You can. Like, what are you gonna say? Eminem is not a great rapper
He's the greatest of
because
all
he
time.
talks about like really controversial topics and says a lot of fucked up shit in his songs. Like, he's not a good artist.
It's like that I am not into the sauce. It's like if he's a great artist, I'll listen to him. It's not like I'll follow the paparazzis and all some fucked up news. Like, what the fuck he did?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's the rap god? I think he's the rap god with the E at the end.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just okay. What about segregating? For example, like let's take who else? Who else can be a good example who had a really horrible personal life but a great artist? Number one, let's look at all the great artists. They have had horrible lives. Beethoven, deaf. Mozart, his father was very rough on him. Michael Jackson, same way, father very hard on him. I think there is even a rumor that Michael Jackson's father removed his testicles so that his voice doesn't mature, so that he can maintain his tonality. I mean, and then you look at Miley Cyrus, for example, right? I mean, I believe she's a very interesting personality, not that good of an artist, to be honest. But then you just look at these people; they have not had good lives. And of course, if you don't have a good life and you don't come from great privilege, of course you're gonna have like this fucked up personality, and you're gonna be instinctive, because most great artists are instinctive. Because Beethoven, he did all that shit because of his crazy instinct and the way he trained his instinct, right? Very instinctual. You cannot think of an idea; ideas just come to you. It's instinctual. So, are we gonna like not segregate? Are we not gonna do that? Are we really not going to do that? I mean, a lot of people are a big fan of Jean-Paul Sartre, who is an amazing philosopher. But then in 1970s, he signed a petition with other great philosophers, actually. And you guys can Google this up. And all of these philosophers, they wanted the age of consent to be decreased to 12. All of them. So what, are we not going to read their philosophies? I mean, that is something I find absolutely disgusting, but I can segregate. I can read his book Nausea and be amazed by it.
It will not make me like him personally.
Yeah, and I don't give a shit.
I don't want to talk to him. I mean,
I would love to talk to him. I would love to talk to him. Pick his brains. Jean-Paul Sartre, anybody would want him there. I would also have to Google check this if Jean-Paul Sartre did sign it, but a lot of great philosophers did. So are we not gonna like listen to their shit? Are we really? And let's bring this back to morality. Why do people think that you can't segregate an artist from an art? Because we think in good and bad as a culture.
Yeah.
That's it. एक इंसान या तो good है या bad है. That's it. इंसान के levels नहीं है.
In a single entity we are talking about, you bring multiple factors.
Multiple factors.
And we are only talking about his singularity. I don't think that's justified at all.
It's not. You can't paint one person in one color. You can't. Human is a canvas. And then if you do this for other people, you also do this for yourself, and you're gonna have a miserable life then. Yeah, you will look at yourself in one picture as well.
I mean, you like someone not for music, you like someone for music and his personality also, and you want to become like them. And suddenly a news comes that he has 10,000 baby oil in his apartment.
But did he?
Did he?
I think he did.
He did.
Didi, don't kill me. If you're listening to our great podcast.
Love you, Didi.
Love you, Didi. Didi.
Didi.
Shout out to my Mansi Didi.
Shout out to my cook Didi.
Cook Didi. She's a great woman. Great food, great Shimla mirch. Paiji.
Bajja.
Pajja. She's a nice woman.
Nice woman, yeah.
Chandu not so.
I agree. I agree, bro.
So, you know, this is how we unbound.
We are unbounding.
Yeah, that's how we are unbounding.
You have the key to my cage and I have the key to your cage.
You don't have a key to my cage, please. That sounds filthy, bro.
I mean,
I don't want vitamin D anymore.
I'm a Diddy fan.
Not baby oil, adult oil.
Adult oil.
Adult oil. Blink it. So we talked about, this is how you do subliminal marketing. We don't have any sponsors. But this is how you do subliminal marketing. This is how you do it. Like you talk about vibrations and you connect it with a deep conversation about Beethoven. And then later you start talking about baby oil.
He was unable to hear, did he?
Did he? Or did he? Yeah, D. Yeah, D.
I mean, you cannot separate the art from the artists.
Art from the artist, man. This art is a test. It's a testicle. Like the idea to think that you can paint one person in like two colors of good and bad. See, this is why I think it's very important to break the illusion of morality and the position morality holds in our society, because it blocks us from experiencing more of us.
It's better to make like an example so that people doesn't confuse it with other things. If you are confusing these things with other things, it will complicate shit.
Yeah.
And whatever we talked about, anyone can understand that because it's simple thing.
Simple.
It's simple.
But maybe it's simple for us.
Maybe.
Because I really believe, because I do agree with you. Like to me, even like it seems like, hey, it's fucking simple. But then, it's a simple thing. But then, it is a simple thing. Yeah. But for some people, it can be complicated because it's about your experiences. Because you are thinking because of your experiences, because that's all information you have. Like what is an experience? It's an information data set you have, and you use that information data set to understand more things.
Best thing is that we can use an example of the AI. If you collect data, we have to clean the data before selling it. You have to clean the data, and you have multiple datas. You have been around here since 20 years, 50 years, 60 years. You have many datas. You just have to filter them.
You have to just filter them. But then here's the crazy part. The data you have, right? The data you collect, the data you have. Think about how do you have that data. Just imagine like memory, right? Data is in memory, right? But then you reconstruct your memory every day according to your emotions. So like what the fuck is going on? The data is constantly being revised again and again and again.
That's like an update.
That's an update, and you're updating like every second. Updating every second with like new information. You are updating every second with like new things and more new experiences.
We are the new updates.
We are the new updates. I mean, Cage Unbound is a great update in everybody's life who listens to this. At least in our lives, to be honest, because I think we are going to develop great as thinkers, man.
Yeah.
Because of these conversations. Because when you get some kind of formality, there's a camera and you have to talk, you get to be more of your inner child, don't you think? You give zero shits. And you have to just think a little. It's not even like forcing.
Yeah.
It's like being more of you.
I think it also comes back to the point there is a restraint, and what is a restraint? You have put it yourself there.
Yourself, limitations. The restraint, you have put it there yourself.
And what is that limitation? If you bring it back to morality, the image comes in our mind. If you think someone is holding a camera, it will be of a chapri. Yep, it is. And you don't want to be like them, but you don't have to be like them. There is a camera, you can be like us, you can be like anyone who is good according to you.
Yeah, you can be. And that is what the problem is. I think that, and this runs in like almost every single level of thinking. Like people who are serious thinkers, they also kind of believe that conscious choice is an illusion. But what I believe is like, acha, if you're thinking conscious choice is illusion because you believe that it depends on your biology and on some kind of like instinctual randomness, because instincts are not random, let's be honest, because they are programmed according to survival. So how are they random? There is a pattern there. Obviously, we study those patterns all the time in our social psychology anyway, so it's not random. But then if it is not random, there is some order there. Then even in that order, they believe we do not have, conscious choice, because hey, how is it conscious choice? Because it's like from your instincts, so you don't have any control over it. Okay, with that thinking, everything is an illusion. I mean, life itself is an illusion, but conscious choice, I mean, it is there. I can sit here and I can be like, hey, you know what, I want to do this right now. But then the idea is you can take fMRI of my brain and you will know like half a second before that I was going to do that. But that doesn't mean that I don't have a conscious choice. I feel I have, so I do. And then you can then turn that to whatever you want to turn it into. There is this pessimism that we do not have a conscious choice and we are some kind of like puppet. But then if we are a puppet, because I agree we are, who is the puppeteer if not us?
It is us.
You are the puppet and the puppeteer. You are both.
I mean, if you want to do like this something,
Yeah.
I just did it. What does it matter?
Yeah. If I want my bare ass to make a debut on the podcast right now,
I don't want it to be.
but then is it not my conscious choice to do so? I mean, it is. But then it also depends on like what kind of life I have had, what kind of person I am, nature. I understand that, but then the choice is there because I can think of it. So if I can think of it, there is a choice. I can stretch the possibilities into whatever I want to stretch them to. But we don't believe in that stretch. Why don't we? Because those are stretching every day. Why, if you go to the gym for 6 fucking months and you eat proper food and you work out properly, take proper rest, is your body not gonna grow?
It is going to grow.
It's gonna grow. So it's kind of like you put some effort into everything and it's just gonna go up.
And if it's not growing, there is something wrong you are doing.
Yeah, exactly. Something wrong you're doing. You just gotta figure it out. I mean, isn't that the meaning of life? That's a beautiful meaning of life. You
It
stay
is.
alive and you try to do that. You just try to do that. It just doesn't matter. So there is this pessimism in people who think a lot, and then there is a lived pessimism in people who don't think anyway. And the pessimism is like जो होना है होगा. I mean, that is true. जो होना है होगा, क्योंकि वो उसने होना है तो वो हो, मतलब वो तो obvious, जैसे
होगा
पीला
भाई.
पीला है, पता है. Yellow is yellow.
For you, I pick it up.
Fact number audio है.
Yeah. This is my action. For you, ये हो के रहेगा.
सोच लो. There are so many things that we use on a day-to-day basis, so many words we use on a day-to-day basis, but those things just don't make any fucking sense.
Doesn't?
जो होना है वो तो होगा ही, obviously. मतलब
पर वो एक्शन ड्रिवन भी तो है.
पर क्या होना है वो कैसे पता तुम्हें?
तू यहाँ पे लक का कॉन्सेप्ट देख. लोग करते हैं हाउ लकी ही इज. नो, ही इज नॉट लकी. He's made that chance for himself.
Yeah, by presenting himself every day.
सिचुएशन देता हूँ मैं तेरे को. सपोज कर कि you want a job in corporate, ठीक है? You have a friend, he wants a job in corporate, and your friend is constantly fighting, posting, applying for the jobs. He's just there. He just shows up there. And for me, I'm not doing anything. And he gets the job. Then I say, इसकी तो लग गई, lucky था. He created that chance. Luck is random. Luck is random, but you can still make a chance for you to become lucky.
You can increase the chances every day, and that is in your control.
Yeah.
That is in your control. And this doesn't mean that you're completely free either.
Yeah.
But then you're not completely caged either. You can do some. And that sum is so much that it's actually a lot. Okay, you can stretch things to such a crazy extent. Okay, you won't have any, like, think about, like, I love that guy. Think about David Goggins.
Yeah.
He used to be 330 pounds or 400 pounds, And that would mean that he used to be 150, 160 kgs. He was very fat. He used to be on milkshakes, completely into comfort. I mean, he has been insane for a very long time, but then he runs Moab 240, dude. How are you running Moab 240? Moab 240, if nobody knows, it's about 383 kilometers. You run 383 kilometers without stopping, dude. He did that. He stretched his mind so much. I mean, not recommending you do that, but then it's like an example of like what you can do through sheer will. It's not a little thing. And also think about
there were
the illusions
limitations
of your
for him
mind.
too, yeah.
Of course,
Must
right?
have been.
He was a
Like,
black man. He
I-
suffered
yeah.
racism.
I heard that his internal organs were bleeding.
Yep. A hole in his
His
heart.
hole in his heart.
He has no cartilage on his knees.
Cartilage on his knees.
And he's running, by. And not even running 10 kilometers. 383 kilometers. Why fuck off?
383 kilometers.
383 kilometers. With a hole in his heart. I mean, I don't know if he has it now. But initially he did. And then no cartilage. No cartilage. If I write this shit down and you don't know David Goggins, right, bhai, you would think that I'm bullshitting you because it seems like fairy tale.
You can search it.
You can search it. And he has not run just one Moab 240.
He's still doing it.
He'll do it next year as well.
I heard he used to do 3 marathons in a year. I think that.
3? Oh, he did 50 marathons in 50 weeks. 50 marathons in 50 consistent weeks. While he had a hole in his heart. And it's not just that. He also lifts very heavy weights. He does like 25 sets, 25 reps. Four sets of 25 reps, 100 kgs.
You know, the best part is that maybe there are people who are doing it, but the consistency and the quality he's doing it makes him a legend. Yeah.
He had world record for most pull-ups in 24 hours.
I think it's broken now.
It's broken now by Truett Haynes. But think about that shit. 4,500 pull-ups in 24 hours. 4,500 pull-ups in 20. उसके हाथ देखता तू सब छिल गया था.
उसने एक फोटो डाली थी इंस्टा पे
पैर की. जब मोआब 240 के बाद.
If you are into feet.
Horrible picture.
Hollywood picture.
Blister पूरी तरह से blister से पैर के नीचे. और कब हो गया होगा वो blister?
वो पूरी लेयर निकली हुई थी पैर की.
और कितने किलोमीटर में हो गया होगा वो blister उसके बाद भी भाग रहा था. With a hole in his heart and no cartilage on his knees. It's similar to Deaf Beethoven.
Deaf Beethoven, yeah.
Isn't it? ओ भाई तेरे तो दिल में छेद है तो क्यों भाग रहा है?
Best part is
मतलब भागना मत if you have heart condition. I'm just giving an example of Goggins.
The best part is that he has also created his legacy. People will try to follow him.
Some people who don't do jack shit in their life, they also read his books.
Yeah.
They do. The thing is, like, they are taking the lifestyle, and what they do is they enjoy David Goggins' life because they fantasize about, oh, ये ऐसा कर रहा है, so they feel kind of something कि I can do it too, and that's it. वो वहीं रुक जाते हैं.
And even if it is 5% of what he is doing, you are doing. The impact he has left in the
The
society.
impact is created by insane impact. Insane impact. And what is he proving to the world? He's proving the strength of will. You exert your will.
You can do anything.
You can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to, man. Lose yourself में last words हैं ये. And you can. Think about Eminem's story. I mean, क्या उसके पास enough excuses नहीं थे कि वो multi-millionaire है.
He was the only white person
Exactly.
around the black people, and the rap used to be black music. I
Back
think,
in
at that
90s.
time. Back in 90s, and his mother was a prostitute.
Not a prostitute. Not a prostitute.
I mean,
He had a bad life.
it's a bad life.
Yeah. He tried to commit suicide in 97 when he could not succeed. He had a daughter, he could not buy her anything, and he had he had problems. He almost died in 2007 as well. He always came back. He always did. What is he proving? The power of will. He just wants to. He has that infinite will. Because something about Eminem that I really love is that in 1997, when he tried to commit suicide by eating a lot of pills, he was very poor. He had nothing, and he lost it. And then what happened? He came back stronger. He became successful in 99. By the time of 2006 and 7, he was the greatest. He was rich enough. He had everything. So he got everything that he wanted, right, when he was poor. But then what happened? He became a drug addict because his best friend died, who was with him for all his life. I mean, it's a horrible situation to be in.
It's a horrible.
But then what happened? He accidentally overdosed. He used to take like 80 to 90 pills every day of Vicodin. That's an insane amount. His body stopped working. He was hospitalized. He was paralyzed. He forgot how to write. He forgot how to rap. What did he do? He bounced back. He released Relapse, Recovery, Bhancho, Marshall Mathers LP2, Bhancho Revival, Kamikaze, Music to be Murdered by ki 2 CDs, Death of Slim Shady, bhai. Didn't stop. He quit drug addiction. He went up. He got away from being poor and being the scum.
I mean, recovery was recovery for everyone who has listened to him.
Exactly. Listen to Not Afraid. That's one of the greatest songs about drug addiction. It's such a... that is what I'm saying. Like, even he had great excuses to not do that. He was poor. Oh, मैं तो गरीब हूँ. मैं तो मेरी मम्मी कुछ नहीं करती. मेरे पापा भी नहीं है. कुछ भी नहीं है. मैं ऐसे ही रह लेता हूँ फैक्ट्री में काम करते हुए. I mean, is that not a good... It's a rational thing. It's rational. भाई कितने लोग बन जाएंगे? अब तो white है.
Think of an example of Bhuvan Mam, yaar. I mean, he used to shoot his videos on which phone? It was very poor quality, right? But that segment was my favorite part.
भैया कॉफी ले आना. कॉफी ले आना. हाँ हाँ. कुछ चल रहा है क्या? आ जाओ, कोई बात नहीं. कोई बात नहीं, आ जाओ. 2 कॉफी ले आना भैया. सेम. एक में मीठा नहीं है, एक में ज़्यादा मीठा. ज़्यादा करना है? हाँ. एक में मीठा जितना अभी था उतना ही ठीक है.
And you know,
diabetes. It takes a real man to face diabetes, to be honest.
It is. I mean, you're taking injections under your stomach. It's like piercing your stomach with a dagger. It also makes you a legend.
Treatment for diabetes, go to your nearest dash.
He wants to say a hill
in Kontakaib.
I mean, for a jog.
For a joke. Leech. But Bhuvan Bam, right? Horrible quality, whatever the fuck. But the guy got talent and he's out.
Bro, I mean, I used to look at his setup. It was like basic shit. My home, anyone's home. Who gives a fuck?
Why did people connect? Because
the quality. My home.
That's why people connected.
The talent also.
Yeah. I also know these 2 guys, right? Like they wanted to do some shit, and then they were thinking about equipment. So you know what they did? They thought, okay, we are 2 people. Both of us have 2 phones. We can do some rounds. Round after round, I'm getting loaded. That's a lot of shots.
That's a lot of shots.
Lots of shots. So the thing is, like, you can always do some shit. You can always can, and you can like start right now. You don't gotta create a safety net to discover your courage, because courage can only like exist without a safety net. If you have a safety net, how the fuck is that? I mean, इतनी बार बोला है मैंने, पर कैसे है और हमें क्यों मानते हैं कि है? हम क्यों मानते हैं ये? We are like seeking comfort to become courageous. So you're seeking comfort. How the fuck is that being courageous? और अगर यही mechanism रहेगा to seek comfort all the time in the illusion कि I will become more courageous, then I'll grow the balls or the ovaries. Like it's not gonna happen.
You know the best example I have of courage is Courage the Cowardly Dog.
That's a beautiful example. बताओ उन्हें.
I mean, like, if you look at it as a perspective, you see a dog who is scared of everything. I mean, Eustace just to do this. Booga, booga, booga. He used to be, But I mean, he was the most courageous person there.
Most courageous character.
If you look at it, the villains there, everyone, if it came to his family to protect them, he used to say, bullshit, I'm not afraid of you anymore. Even though he's afraid in his heart, he'll still do the shit because it's necessary,
Yeah.
because he want to do it.
Yep. And isn't that everybody's story?
Yeah, it is.
To do things regardless. I mean, that's the basic meaning of life again. You do things irregardless. Why are you working for, why are you giving more conditions to living yourself to your truest potential? Like, why are you, like, whose permission are you looking for? जैसे मैं अभी पहले भी कह रहा था. Like, we feel like we are looking for some kind of permission, or we are looking for some kind of feeling जो आए, and then we'll, but how is that feeling gonna come when you won't see your own vision you want for yourself come alive in front of you? How? You can trigger it by.
I mean, it's basic instinct of a human that you will be afraid of something. That doesn't mean you will not be able to do it. If you put comfort there, like I am afraid to do it, like I'll create a situation in my mind that, oh, if I do this, this will happen, and not going for it. I mean, it's your comfort zone.
It is.
It's like a web you have yourself prepared just to lay there.
Yeah.
And as a human, you have failed.
Yeah. As a human, how much can you experience? Think about this. What all emotions, instincts can you experience, and what are you doing? Not experiencing them. You are not experiencing your own strength. You know why? Because you're scared of your own strength. You know why? Because you believe that. Because you believe, and this is something I think very deeply, and so deeply ki it would sound stupid, almost. But I'll try to make my case. I believe that many people are scared of their own strength because they believe that being strong is not a virtue, because they believe if you are strong the world is weak and people around me are weak. If I become strong then I feel guilty or I feel some kind of shame. For example, if I have great taste in music, I'll be ashamed for having great taste in music. But think about the hypocrisy there. If you have great taste in music, if you are strong, why should you feel shame for that? But we do. I have felt that all my life. But then how stupid is that to believe in? How stupid is that? How stupid is that? Let me tell you guys a background story. Right before we were about to shoot, we came here, we looked for this location. And three guys came to us, right? And they asked for the name of what my channel is. And you know what? My channel's name is Beautiful, Cage and Brown. Beautiful idea. But you know what happened? For about 5 seconds, I felt embarrassed to say the name out loud because I know the name is too good. And you know what I thought instinctively? Why am I ashamed?
Yeah.
It's a great name. Fuck that shit. You know what I did? I told them the fucking channel name. I did. Irregardless. I'm not saying I felt really comfortable saying it. I did not. I was ashamed. And why? Because a lot of parts of me also subscribe to this thing that I criticize.
We are also conditioned.
Yeah.
We are also conditioned right from the start. But I mean, we can break the cage, yeah.
I mean, I did.
You did at that moment.
Instantaneously, in seconds.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
And just because there was a thought in your mind, I should break that cage. And that is the message I want each and every individual to have in their mind before doing anything. Because it is the importance of that thought that will make you who you are.
Yeah. And let me put this one beautiful idea out, When we think about cages and we think about, even from like that Nietzsche quote, right? Ki, I don't have keys to my cage, but this doesn't mean I don't have keys for your cages. What I think is, sometimes, and maybe almost all the time, but sometimes the key to your own cage are the keys to other people's cages. You freeing other people of their cages is the key to your own cage. Because what are those other people if not just projections of yourself?
You are able to free someone from their cage because you're out of yours.
What are the other cages that are not yours? अगर मुझको issue है किसी और के केज से और वो किसी और का केज मुझे ट्रिगर करता है, how much does that tell me about my own cage that I can relate with and I want to break it? So I am breaking my own cage by breaking other people's cages. I'm making my own life better by making other people's lives better. वही तो idea है ना, वही तो idea है.
Cage Unbound.
Cage Unbound, beautiful introductory video for our 5-minute clip channel या फिर half an hour clip channel, because you know what, FUCK it. And see, this is what the idea is. End of the day, we are beyond our simple body. We are everything we perceive. There is nothing else that we can perceive. I mean, think about it. How are you going to perceive anything without your mind, right? I mean, without your brain, without your body. So everything is you, right? You're experiencing yourself, because things don't come from 0 to 1. Things exist in 1, that's it, and they just arise. Any emotion that you have, right, it's not a new thing. Think about it like this, like when you feel angry, you have always felt that way since you were a kid. वो चीज़ change नहीं हुई, right? It's your own shit. Same with happiness and everything. Happiness, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Sometimes it
makes you
increases,
happy.
sometimes it doesn't go up.
If you look at it, it also makes you happy after it goes up.
Yeah, sometimes you go, you know what, nice.
Nice.
And sometimes you go, you know what, it's not that big of a deal. Like the deal was cut short.
I mean, that's what cage.
Shut up. The deal was cut short. I mean, those deals are the uncaged ones.
Uncaged ones.
So that is what it is. I think that is simply what it is. It's like coming back to like the limitations aspect of it, right? And let's try to introduce the brand now, because it's been a month of us posting now. We're talking to our future selves, because we are recording this when? What is today? It's like Choti Diwali right now. So here's the idea of Cage Unbound. We have an illusion that we are caged. Because of that, we believe that the keys are somewhere else. Because we are caged. Somebody caged us. That's what we believe. Think about who is the prisoner and who is the guard. Are they not the same? When we think about limitations, for example, right? Who is setting them? For us. Are we not allowing those limitations to be set, even if it seems external? So who is the guy who's imposing those limitations, who is putting the cage in? Now even think about the boundary of that cage, right? The material of that cage. What is the material of that cage? Is material of that cage not your weak will? Is the material of that cage simply like your will's inability to manage your thoughts and emotions? Your will is so weak that your thoughts and emotions run against each other. Take an example, your thoughts tell you that, okay, this is what I have to do to go to that place. Beautiful, very rational. But your emotions run amok. You just can't do it. You don't have the patience or whatever. So your weak will cannot manage both of them. That is why you are caged. It's your will that will set you free, but it is also your will that will cage you, because your will is you. It doesn't come from anywhere else. So you are not the cage. You are the cage. You are the cage. You are not caged. You are the cage. And you can simply unbound yourself by at first like try not to think in duality, that you can paint yourself or other people in like two paints. And second, don't be ashamed to experience your strength. Why? Don't be ashamed to experience your own strength. Like that whole thing I see on my Instagram where people say, oh, it's always cringe before you make it. I just kind of, it's not even cringe. It's not even, who gives a crap? Like, I think a lot of things are cringe, but then I don't give a shit.
Then if you think that thing is cringe, and you think you can do it better and make it uncringy,
do it. Stop yapping. Do it, yeah. Stop I mean, we are yapping, but this is like some good kind of yapping. But then the other kind of yapping.
The Karen type of yapping.
Yeah.
How dare you?
You know, shout out to our, old homies. Let's not, shout out our old homies. Right now. You know, shout out to our old homies. You know, Buddha. You know, let's just shout out to our old homies. Shout out to, you know. But you know, there's one thing like a feedback I really want to take from people, and I want to take this feedback. Like, I think because this is what I truly believe. I think that podcasts are supposed to run for like 4 hours, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Right, maybe 6 is crazy, but at least 2 hours, 1.5 hour is good enough, right? Like I myself consume like 3 hours of pod. 3.5 hours is good for me. 3.5 is my sweet spot.
I
But
mean, if it is a podcast, I also watch it in parts. Also, if it is
in
big.
parts also, exactly. There are also a clip channel, so you can go to the clips if you're not into the longer shit, and then if you enjoy the clips, you can go to the longer one, right? Because it won't waste your time. So a podcast should not be like 2 minutes long.
3 minutes.
Yeah, should not be 3 minutes. I mean, that's just bullshit. So you know, I just wanted to get this out. There is no purpose of this. So in the end,
I know.
let's try to conclude everything we talked about today. Let's see if we can do that, because that will be a good challenge for us. Because I think running on randomness and trying to do the raw kind of shit, that is also an illusion, by
Yeah.
because doing things authentically and very raw fashion, that can easily turn into an excuse to not putting efforts. So let's try in our own beautiful ways, because I know we can do that. We started with what? Beethoven and limitations. Beethoven was deaf.
Yeah. We started with limitations, and we started with the limitations that you have put on yourselves. And if you want to achieve something, what factors you need to use? It's your will, it's your desire, it's your thought process. And at the end, you are the cage.
At the end, you are the cage.
You are the cage. If you want to fulfill something, you have to open that cage. You have to.
You have to.
I mean, there are many factors. You must be conditioned. For me, like morality and something, it's we learn from very start. It's like a seed that's been inside us. Like for example, his example. When they asked him about the channel name, he has some hesitancy. Why? And the beautiful thing is that the thought was in his mind, and what happened? He came out of the cage and did the shit. After that, what happened? They talked with us. They were happy. We were happy.
10-minute counseling session. Yeah. And I think that is what we do. We live in our illusions too much. We started believing it to be facts, but nothing is a fact. There are no facts, only interpretations.
Yeah.
So it's just your interpretation, and nothing is a fact, to be honest. So that's what we have here, man. Cage and bound.
Cage and bound.
I think that will be it. That will be it today. But you know why? Because I have to pee.
The golden hour has gone, but the summit, it's like red. It's like my eyes right now. They're tired. They're red. It might be his pee. He has been holding it. It might be red. We don't know.
P
that.
did he?
P did he?
P did he?
He did it.
But then this one thought came to me, man. Like, you know what? We want to do live shows in the future, and I just look at this beautiful thing.
Yeah.
There is sun, right? It's setting, so it looks like a red ball.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the beautiful metaphor I've talked about. Beautiful
He's talking
metaphor.
about ball, not
Ball.
balls.
I'm talking about balls because I'm going to mention a moon as well.
Yeah.
So then, when it's night, right, when it's dark and we look at the moon seems like to be, having his own light, but the moon doesn't have his own light. It's the sun's light that
sun's
reflects.
light, yeah.
So the original source of light is actually the sun, but we mistake it to be of the moon. That is what we do when we live our own lives. We look at other people and we take the light they give us to be their own light, but it isn't. It's just simply your light being reflected to yourself through them.
Yeah.
We'll end on this shit. Thank you very much. I have to pee, but pee did he?
I think he did. Did he?